In this first video on our applications of uh, right triangle trigonometry, we're going to solve some physics applications first. I'm going to be using this equation t equals the square root of 2a over g sine theta cosine theta several times in the first few problems. So I've entered it into my equation solver. Actually, let me show you how I did that. So your equation solver is in your math menu. For me, it is the last option down there. It's B. For some of you that have earlier versions of the calculator, it'll be 0. I'm going to notice that it's solved for 0 already. You may have another version of the calculator that lets you put the left-hand side and right-hand side in separately. That'll work too. But I'm going to make mine solved for 0 here. So second square root of, and now I have an expression that's a fraction. So I'm going to put the numerator in parentheses 2. I know this is a little a, but I'm going to put a capital A in my calculator because I can only use capital letters. Close my parenthesis for my numerator, divided by, open my parenthesis for my denominator, alpha g times sine of theta is down here above the number 3 for me, times cosine of alpha theta, like that. Close my denominator, and then close my square root. Now I want to get that t over to the other side so it's equal to 0. So I'm going to say minus alpha t. And what did this do for me? This allowed me to input some different values there and solve for one of the variables that I want. So they're telling me that I'm in degrees here for my angle. So I'm going to make sure that I'm in degree mode. I am. Go back to my equation solver now. And they're going to give me some values here. So they're going to say I want to solve for this g, they tell me is going to be 32. That's feet per second squared. The angle is going to be 45 degrees. The base is going to be 12. And they want me to solve for t. So I'm going to say alpha, enter, which is alpha solve. And I'm going to get that t is approximately 1.2 seconds. Now, this didn't show any of the work that the teacher might want to see for this, but lots of times we're going to be using a graphing utility to do this anyways, to just stick it into the calculator and do all this for us and pop it out and get the answer. So I'm not really doing anything here other than keeping myself from having to type this in on the home screen multiple times to do these 3 problems. So now we're going to come change our values for the next problem. A is 14, G is still 32, theta is now 30 degrees, and I want to alpha solve. And I get a new value that T is about 1.4 seconds. Now we want to make A equal to 13. We want to keep our G at 32. That's a constant. Theta is going to be 67 degrees. And we're going to alpha solve. And this is going to be about 1.5 seconds. So that's it for that specific application. Now I'm going to change the formula because we're going to start talking about the force acting on a pendulum, and it's F equals mg sine of theta. So I'm going to come back up to my equation here, and I'm going to say that I want m times g times sine of theta. And I want to subtract my left-hand side, which is F. And where M is the mass in kilograms of the pendulum, G is going to be in meters per second squared here, so it's going to be 9.8. And the angle is going to start off, we're going to start talking about 45 degrees. And so we want M to start off at 0.8, and we want to find the force. The force is going to be calculated in newtons here. Because we're in the metric system, nearest tenth of a newton, so this is going to be about 5.5. Capital N is the symbol for newtons. Let's change our values for number 38. G is going to be 9.8 again. We're going to make the mass 0.9. We're going to make the angle 60 degrees. And we're going to find the force in newtons again. And it is 7.6. We have one last problem in this physics applications before I come back to the next video where we'll do these surveying problems. So again, 9.8 meters per second squared for gravity. Our mass is 0.7 this time. And the angle is going to be 28 degrees. And alpha solve. And we get that this is 3.2 newtons. Okay, that's it for this video. It was pretty simple with the assistance of technology. We would not want to do a lot of that by hand and entering that over and over and over again in the calculator. So there you have it. There's how your equation solver can help you if you get the same problem multiple times with different values that you need to plug in. You can use it to help you with that. Have a good day.